go from
silly to serious.
Kids let's go from
Silly to serious.
So we just did this song about our big goals, about conquering the leap, okay? Today we're going to get ready to start class and we're going to get into a text that is also going to give you a lot of good information about how you can conquer your fear of this test. Conquer your fear of failure, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to get into the poem, Life Doesn't Frighten Me at All, but before we start, we're going to start with our norms. Everybody tracking Deja on 212.
Track. Honor. Include others. Include others. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. Lead not follow. Lead not follow. Be grateful. Be grateful. Follow directions the first time. Follow directions the first time. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Help a friend in need. Help a friend in need. Show self-control. Show self-control. Keep hands and feet to yourself. Keep hands and feet to yourself. It's okay to disagree. It's okay to disagree. Affirm and encourage. Affirm and encourage. Be positive. Be positive. Take risks. Take risks. We will be in our focus today.
Our hands go up.
Tabby. So self-control.
Why is that your norm focus for today?
Because sometimes I just get out of my seat and I start walking around without asking permission.
One more for norm focus.
Talia.
God is be grateful. Why?
Speak audibly.
God is be grateful because sometimes I don't want what I get.
All right, Malik can ask the second question. Everybody tracking Malik on 212.
What is the test taking on focus? Curry.
Sit and straight.
Any other scholar want to add?
Tayshawn.
Eyes and text, kiss on the hand.
How is that going to help you to be successful for your leap test, Deshaun?
This will help me be successful because if I don't have my eyes on text and kiss on the hand, I won't pass the leap test.
All right.
That would be
Great job. Let's not forget our test-taking criteria focus, okay? So thank you for the norm, personal norm focus as well as the test-taking norm focus. Let's keep these in mind as we read our text today. Everybody tracking me on 212? Good morning, Harvard.
Good morning, Mr. Rucker. How are you today?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Good.
So, yesterday we began to read our poem, Life Doesn't Frighten Me at
All.
And today, our objective, tracking the board on 212,
Track.
is we can understand
Understand
the deeper meaning
the deeper meaning
of poetry.
of poetry.
So today is our second read of the poem. Today is our,
Second read of the poem.
and we're thinking, what is the deeper meaning? What is the?
Deeper meaning.
So we read this poem called Life Doesn't Frighten Me at All by Maya Angelou, and we're thinking about the deeper meaning that the author is trying to convey, okay? So before we go back and we prepare to write by ourselves what is the deeper meaning and use our assertions, cite evidence, and our explanations to explain it, we're going to first have a little small discussion. So voice off, all hands go up, all hands go. What is the deeper meaning? Kick us off. Alvin, what do you think the deeper meaning of the poem is?
I think the deeper meaning of the poem is fear is only scary if you make it.
I agree with you all because, like, in the poem, Maya Angelou, she was scared of, she was scared sometimes, but she was like, she didn't want nothing to frighten her at all while she's, like, doing all these things. Like, me, old Mother Goose, Lions of the Loop, she said it, like, doesn't frighten her.
Why do you think the author uses, because we know there's a lot of figurative language in there, why do you think the author uses a lot of language and imagery such as dragons breathing, mean old Mother Goose, strangers in the park? Why does the author bring up so many of that figurative language and imagery in the poem? Dylan.
I think the author did that because he wanted us, like, to know, like, she'll explain, like, the fears that people have
and she's saying life doesn't frighten me at all. So like, to try to encourage the people to take over their affairs.
Okay. So before you add on, let's apply this to our life. Let's think about what we've been preparing for. How can you think about your test? How can you apply the lesson or the message that the author is trying to convey for this poem? How can you apply this to your life, Neve?
Because when I take the LEAP test, sometimes I might think that I'm not passing, that I'm gonna fail, and I'm gonna get held back.
Anybody want to add on, agree or disagree? Because we're trying to go deeper into this poem and figure out how we can apply it. Genesis,
I can apply it to my
can you
life.
speak audibly, please?
I can apply it to my life because whenever I think that I'm not gonna pass something, or like if I can't do something, I'm just gonna remember this poem about Maya Angelou, how she said that life doesn't frighten her at all, and I'm gonna remember that nothing frightens me and I could do it.
Okay. Anybody else? One last response. Darian, tracking Darian.
How I could apply this to my life is that sometimes I feel down and I think about the things that we have over the years, like what she says in here, Mother Lucis and stuff like that, and I feel like it don't frighten me at all.
So how can this help you right now?
How could it help me right now? Because in a couple weeks, we're gonna take LEAP, and then I think I can pass.
So we just had an opportunity, all hands down, thank you. We had an opportunity to talk about these questions. So now you're gonna have the chance to answer these 3 questions at your table, okay? When I say go but not, you're gonna transition back to your table, and we're focusing on these 3 questions. What is the deeper meaning of the poem? How can we apply this lesson to our life? And the last one is, what does this poem inspire you to do? Okay? Transition.
Okay.
Shout out to the scholars who already are meeting and practicing here. We're looking at the 3 questions. What does this poem inspire us to do? How can we apply this message to our life? And what is the lesson that the author is trying to convey or show us? What is the lessons he's trying to show us? That's what convey is. What is the lesson the author is trying to show us?